sweet and considerate and absolutely gorgeous.
Isn't he? His eyes are to die for.
Absolutely. Could you get me his name? I just want to write him a little thank you note.
That's Tad Martin. He's in the phone book, but don't get your hopes up.
The pretty blonde with the short hair.
Dixie Cooney, his past, present, and future love. Sorry, but he's taken.
All the good ones are.
Mrs. Livingston, I presume?
Yes.
Good afternoon. I'm from the Pine Valley Health Department.
My husband handles all of our charitable contributions.
Oh, no, ma'am. I'm not here in a fundraising capacity. Goodness, no. Quite frankly, I'm responding to a complaint.
About us?
Well, yes and no, ma'am. You see, more precisely, it's this domicile. Unfortunately, we received several reports of an infestation of vermin.
Impossible. My staff keeps the house impeccably clean.
Oh, I'm sure they do, ma'am. I'm sure they do. But you see, generally vermin keep a low profile, multiplying silently in the dark. Perhaps the unvisited corners of the cellar, the pool house, perhaps the gardener's shed. Yep. The walls are their highways, the plumbing their canals. The little buggers quietly thrive, just biding their time until, powie, they completely overrun the entire area. No, I'm afraid the good of Pine Valley compels me to inspect these premises.
I can't allow that.
Oh, I'm afraid I'm going to have to insist. As I said, we received several complaints, Mrs. Livingston. These cannot be ignored. County regulations require...
I don't care what the county says. You cannot...
Just as I feared.
What are you doing?
Goodness gracious, Jinkies me, it's worse than I thought.
What are you talking about? What? What is?
This Rodentia excrementum.
Oh, my goodness. You don't mean...
I certainly do, and mounds of it. Smells like a recent vintage.
Mrs. Livingston?
You. Just the man I want to see. The health inspector is here.
I hope you're all right.
Not for me. Your house has rats.
Never.
The neighbors reported it to the Board of Health.
Well, that is precisely why I'm here. The neighbors simply cannot be trusted. They bear me ill will because of some unfortunate incident that involved my guard dogs. But this is just a plot to embarrass me. Ages and ages ago, rats were a figment of someone's imagination.
I beg to differ, my good man. The rodents in question are entirely real.
Says who?
Says this.
Well, you could easily have dropped that after you came in.
I beg your pardon, I did nothing of the kind.
You are a plot of the neighbor's plot to embarrass me.
Sir, I am a highly trained health professional. I do not engage in cheap plots. Now, if you'll stand aside, I will continue with my work.
What work? There isn't a rat within 10 miles of Cortlandt Manor.
Oh, I beg to differ, sir. There certainly is. This baby never fails me. I can smell a rat long before I ever see one. And believe me, this house is infested.
Will you stop praying that terrible stuff and find the proof?
Yes indeed, sir. Yes indeed. I am on the scent, and you shall have your proof.
I mean, what can I say? I liked Opal the moment I laid eyes on her. She's as honest as the day is long, and a hoot to boot.
Yeah, she's something all right.
And I really respect her for what she's accomplished here.
Mm-hmm. And you figured buttering up the boss just couldn't hurt.
Well, you warned me about your Uncle Palmer. And you're right. He's one tough old bird. He's fired me once already.
Sounds about par for the course.
Well, if it wasn't for Opal, I'd be long gone, and I need this job.
I thought you said you were a writer.
Well, even writers have to eat.
True.
Look, I'm sorry if you think I'm hustling Opal. But if I'm guilty of anything, it's trying to cover my scrawny behind.
Hey, it's okay. I mean, we all have to do that sometimes. Actually, I'm glad you're here. Because Opal's been pretty depressed lately, and it seems you being around has kind of helped to lift her spirits.
Well, I'm glad to do it. Oh, look, I got you something.
Mm-hmm.
Here. I hope I'm not out of line. I kept thinking about you and your brother's, about your brother's death, and I know how much pain you were and how much you missed him.
Death in the Family by James H.E.
This'll help. All you gotta do is read it. You know, once upon a time when I was really down, I happened across this book, and it helped. It helped a lot.
It's really something. People don't often think to give me books, but I love them. It's really wonderful. Thank you.
Kendall, I'm not leaving either. I love you. I'm committed to you and no one else. Every day I thank God for you.
Couldn't stand it if I lost you.
Anton! What are you doing here?
If you're here to get them to lock me up and throw away the key, you're a little late.
Kendall, I'm not here
You
for...
can save your breath. My release papers are being processed as we speak. I'm walking out of here a free woman, and there's nothing that you can do about it.
I didn't come here to fight. Why did you come here? I have been up all night debating what to do about you and Kendall. Are you still determined to marry her? Nothing's changed. That's what I thought. Anton, I hate the way things are between us. I want to make peace. So I've made a decision. Now, it's not going to be easy. But if you're going to make Kendall your wife, I'm willing to try and accept her.
You want to accept me? As what?
Kendall, Anton loves you.
With all my heart.
And believes in you enough to want to marry you.
As soon as she'll have me.
So there must be something about you that I've missed. I am willing to try and find out what that something is, if you'll give me the chance. What do you say?
Why the sudden change of heart?
Your sister begged me to believe in you, Anton. Wanted me to make amends so that we might at least stay in touch. Now, I want you to stay a part of my life. I know that's not going to happen unless I make peace with Kendall, too.
You hate me. You have done everything but spit in my face, and now you suddenly expect me to believe that you want to kiss and make up?
I know it's hard to believe.
Try impossible.
I felt that way myself for a long time. But I wrestled with this problem all night long, and in the end, I realized that forgiveness was the only way. Now, if you have another solution that would end the war between Anton and myself, I'd be glad to hear it.
Because you still hate me, don't you?
I don't hate anyone, Kendall.
You'd make an exception in this case, admit it.
Anton thinks you've changed.
She has.
And that is why I'm here. It's going to take me time to trust in you again, but I know Anton. If you believe in Kendall, that's good enough for me.
I don't get this. Anton's family works for your family. What's the big deal if he's in your life or not?
Kendall Corvina has been a member of my family staff
Fine,
for years.
Corvina is a loyal servant. She is the salt of the Hungarian earth. It still does not explain your devotion to Anton. You hadn't seen him for years before he came to Pine Valley, and it never seemed to bother you before. I think something's rotten in Budapest, and I want to know what it is. Are you going to tell me, or is it a surprise?
You are a monster. 6 months ago, this house had a family in it. A husband, a wife, and a little girl.
And I wanted to be part of it.
Yeah. But because you couldn't be part of it fast enough, you decided to rip it to shreds, didn't you?
You are so wrong.
Yeah, first you started with Bianca, the little girl. She was the easiest target, easiest to get rid of.
I never did anything to
Then you
Bianca.
moved on to Erica. She was tougher, but you still pulled it off. Then you turned to my brother. My brother. Before you finished with him, he was nearly a corpse. And you want to be part of a family? You find a new family. Because you already wiped this one out. It's finished. Now you get out of here.
Anybody there? Hello? Yoo-hoo. Anybody home? Husband of mine. Hey, you have a problem. Brooding is not going to solve it. You've got to open up and talk about it, and otherwise it's going to fester.
Always the doctor.
That's right.
So tell me, Doc, what's wrong with me?
My diagnosis would be acute worry over Dimitri and Anton.
Well, believe it or not, I'm more worried about myself. If Dimitri can sell his turnaround to Kendall, he's going to have to put up with having that little sicko around.
Well, he wants to get close to Anton, and he's willing to endure Kendall to do it.
Yeah, but that means I'll have to endure her as well.
Looks like.
I don't know if I can. I'm the one who kicked her out of Wildwind in the first place.
Well, I gave you my diagnosis. Would you like my prescription? Yeah. Well, it's pretty simple. Love. Just remember that you love your brother. And now he's got a son, and you love them both. And, do you think you'd do anything for them?
I just hope Dimitri's thought of all the ramifications. I mean, if Erica finds this out, that if he's taking back Kendall, she'll go berserk.
Why would she care? They're getting a divorce.
Honey, Dimitri still loves the lady. Okay? And this is going to hit her right where she lives. I just hope he's prepared to deal with all that.
Getting to like you, getting to hope you like me. Earth to Janet. You again. Someone's got to talk some sense around here. What did you think? Tad was going to fall for the way you fell on him? Well, I was doing all right there for a while. The doctors would have been better off redoing your brain as opposed to your face. Who can say what would happen if he wasn't already spoken for? Some rehabilitation. You're a bigger fool now than you were before, and I, for one, didn't think that was possible. I am in too good of a mood to talk to you about this. Okay, fine. No more talk about Tad Martin. But by the way, how did Trevor react when you told him who you were today? Oh, come on. You did tell Trevor who you were, didn't you? I was going to.